Hi everyone! Each of us use the internet, and every day there is so much information that flashes in front of our eyes that to remember it is just impossible. But, especially for our subscribers, we've selected some unbelievable things which can surprise or really shock you. Most of them you're going to see for the first time in your life. That's why we recommend you to watch the video until the end. Let's go! The Island of Rabbits. Can you imagine an island populated with rabbits? Meanwhile, such an island really exists, and its location in Hiroshima Prefecture, Japan. The island was classified once, so Japan removed it from the maps. But nowadays, it barely handles the flow of tourists and hundreds of rabbits. According to data, there was about 300 bunnies in 2007, but today the number exceeds 1,000. And no one knows how these bunnies ended up on the island. The most popular theory is that they are offspring of animals which were used for gas testing during the war. Some people believe that the first couple of bunnies were brought by tourists or some school kids who visited the island with a tour. These wild but absolutely tame animals are not afraid of people, which is why tourists are just fascinated by them. Life inside a plane. Some people do not like flying. They fear it or can't stand anything related to aviation. But American Bruce Campbell is completely opposite. He loves planes so much that he even decided to convert one of them into a home. The decommissioned Boeing 727 stands in the middle of the outskirts of a forest in Portland, Oregon, USA. Campbell bought the land for $23,000 when he was a little over 20 years old. To set up the inside of the plane, covering 100 square meters, he spent about $220,000. Campbell properly boards his plane, walking up a plank, collects water from the original water tank, but takes a shower in a self-made bathroom. And now it is time for something hotter. Volcanic skiing. It seems obvious that any person with an overwhelming survival instinct will stay away from an active volcano. For example, Etna is the tallest active volcano in Europe, which erupted 24 December 2018 the last time. That is not so long ago, but there are some real extreme fans who ski or snowboard on black volcanic sand-covered slopes. Lava-baked bread. Whatever you say, but Iceland is an amazing country where even simple bread might be baked following an extraordinary technique. For example, this baker bakes his bread in lava of the nearby volcanoes using a recipe that is passed from generation to generation. And this is not a joke. He buries the dough-filled pan 40 centimeters in hot dirt and then lets nature do its job. In that region, the ground temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius. Iron fireworks. Do you like fireworks? There is another option for them. The technique was and remains pretty easy. Melted iron is splashed on a stone wall to make a firework effect. The melted iron contacts the cold stone and creates beautiful iron flowers, which fall then as real rain fire. An unforgettable show. Blue flame. When any volcano erupts, we see red burning lava and gray ashes. Nothing so extraordinary. However, the Kawah Ijen volcano, located on the Indonesian island Java, differs from its flaming siblings. You can see an unusual natural phenomenon in one of its craters. Blue-colored gas goes on the surface. At nighttime, it may seem that the volcano is erupting with blue lava. After such hot footage, we need to cool it down a bit. Ice musical instruments. Tim Linhart, artist and sculptor, purposely moved from Colorado to Sweden to create ice musical instruments with uncommon and unique sounds. Before he started to make music, he had been making ice sculptures for over 30 years. At some moment, he got an idea to combine non-compatible things: ice sculpture and music. He carves ice violins, violas, cellos, contrabasses, banjos, guitars, mandolins, xylophones, and drum sets. Tim had to make more complex instruments, such as an ice harp and even an organ. Sounds fantastic, but each of those instruments works as it has to. While creating his own ice orchestra, Tim combines that made from ice and water, white ice, with transparent. And the only glue he uses is water. Only the fingerboards and strings remain original, not ice. No Nails House. In the past, metal manufacturing and utilization was too expensive in Japan. So carpenters of Miyadaiku School, the craftsmen of temple construction, developed a unique method to merge wooden pieces without any mount fasteners. How do they make it possible? Well, the point is in a special technique of wooden details coupling. The wood is carved in a way that it looks like a piece of a puzzle, and then the details are attached to each other reliably and forever. Fish skin transplantation. Sounds weird, right? But scientists have learned to cure burns this way. And not only human burns. A group of veterinarians from California treated 2 bears who are registered in the Red Book who were injured in a wildfire. To help the bears, they used the skin of tilapia fish, which they stitched on their paws. By the way, tilapia is the only fish whose collagen is the most compatible to human collagen, and it appears bear collagen as well. When the bears woke up after surgery, they could immediately stand on their paws. Icy casing of apples. You could think that there's nothing extraordinary in ice musical instruments. Then what about ice apples created by nature itself? For the first time, this phenomenon was seen by American Andrew Sietsma. He was in a garden pruning apple trees when he saw strange fruit, which he immediately photographed. Apple-looking transparent icy spheres which are empty inside. How could this happen? According to the farmer's version, already rotten apples turned into mush by the temperature difference and just slipped out, leaving a bizarre decoration. Quicksand. Everyone knows about deadly quicksand, which is shown in adventure movies. But reality differs from a movie. Quicksand contains sand or clay and water, and most commonly is found in the delta of rivers. If you don't know how to pull yourself out, you can really get bogged down in it. But you are not going to die there anyways. Fishing with the birds. Fishing with the cormorant looks something like this. A fisherman lets the cormorant out of the boat, and then it swims a bit away. Then it dives trying to catch a fish. If its prey is not big, the cormorant is free to swallow it. But if the fish is big enough, the fisherman calls the bird and rewards it by giving it a small fish instead of the big one as an exchange. The curious thing is that after a while, the cormorant stops trying to swallow a big fish and brings it directly to its owner. Bubble wrap paintings. What was bubble wrap made for? To protect stuff from breaking and make its owners relaxed. Almost no one can resist popping a few dozens of those bubbles though. But artists figured out how to use it in a very different way. They inject paint in every bubble, and as a result, the painting looks like it contains thousands of kinds of pixels. Drone for base jumping. Aerones is the Latvian drone manufacturer that is focused on the production of drones that can transport cargo weighing up to 200 kilograms. To show the lifting power of its drone, it was decided to do base jumping. The skydiver climbed to the top of a communication tower where the drone took him, and then lifted at a height of 330 meters from where he accomplished the jump. It all ended well. Gunshot. You may think it is a cliche, but just look at this. This 73,000 frames a second slow motion allows us to see the magical dance of fire, air, and pressure that is difficult to distinguish with the naked eye. Box fights. There is a belief that adults remain children in their souls, and box fights are an excellent proof. We might say that it's an art, which gets a simple children's game to the next level. Box fight participants use common cardboard to create real combat equipment such as armor, shield, and various weapons. Furthermore, they also make cardboard jeeps, tanks, gigantic animals, and many other things. City from Computer Details. A young resident of Zimbabwe, Zaid Menk, spent 3 months building a model of Manhattan. To make it, he used old parts of computers. The young artist says that he always had thought that printed circuit boards look like a city. That's why the idea to make a computer-detailed city just came to his mind. Knocker-uppers. Do you like to be woken up by a person, not your alarm? However, during the Industrial Revolution, the profession of knocker-upper used to exist. These people walked the streets and woke people up. Generally, this profession was popular in Ireland and England. If the person lived on the first floor, they would knock on the door or window until they were positive the person was awake. Well, and if the client lived on the second floor, the knocker-upper would shoot dried peas out of a straw to tap on the window. This extraordinary profession lasted until the 1920s. Underwater postbox. Toshihiko Matsumoto has been working for 40 years in the post office of the town of Susami, Wakayama Prefecture. Once he got an idea to install a mailbox underwater. For what? Toshihiko hoped to attract tourists this way. His idea was just brilliant. Divers buy waterproof postcards, sign them with a special marker pen, and then dive and put it in the bright red mailbox. Each year, 1,000 to 1,500 pieces of mail are sent through the underwater postbox. Toy piano virtuoso. Could a toy piano be considered a serious musical instrument? Of course, yes, if it falls in the right hands, like Margaret Leng Tan, who is the first toy piano virtuoso in the world. She has played her toy piano all around the world, including concerts at Carnegie Hall and New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. She should probably look for friends among kid bicycle riding artists. Noise of extinction. Do you know that you can listen to our planet's transformation? Bernie Krause records the noises of nature, such as wind in the forest, birds twittering, bugs buzzing, and there is more and more silence in his podcasts year by year. Parks, wilderness, forests, and valleys have become silent. Some of them just for a while, but others forever. The biodiversity is declining rapidly. According to some reports, something similar happened when the dinosaurs went extinct. Well, until then, Bernie continues recording our planet's noises. Perhaps it will be a way to preserve it for posterity. But we have the hope that the way of peaceful coexistence with nature will be found. That's all for today. We thank you for your likes and subscribing. See you soon.